The grand dome of the Halo chamber shimmered with 1,000 lights, each representing a member of the Galaxy Council. Thousands of years of diplomacy, debate, and fragile peace were etched into the chamber's crystalline walls. Delegates from every corner of the galaxy had gathered, their voices a soft murmur beneath the monumental echoes of the assembly. But on this day, something was wrong. A sudden flicker ran through the chamber's systems. The golden lights dimmed. Screens went black. Holograms warped and sputtered. For the first time in 2 centuries, the Halo chamber fell silent. "What?" barked Threx, the hulking envoy from the Gorlak hive, his many eyes narrowing. "Power grid failing?" "No," whispered Elder Yelene of the Seraphin Collective, her pale hands trembling as she scanned the data feeds. "It's not a power failure, it's absorption. Something is drawing energy from the chamber's dark matter core." Gasps rippled through the assembly. The core was the heart of Varelli's Prime's energy matrix, the most stable dark matter reactor known in the galaxy. To lose even a fraction of its energy was impossible without catastrophic consequences. The counselors looked at one another, uneasily. The rumors had been growing in the outer sectors. Mining drones lost to unknown forces, sensor arrays hacked beyond recognition, entire dark matter veins suddenly going cold. The delicate veins of dark matter that fueled trade routes, weapons, even starship engines were being interfered with. "Report," snapped High Chancellor Ralkin, his scaled hand slamming the council desk. His eyes, sharp as a hawk's, scanned the holographic map. A blinking red dot pulsed at the far edge of the outer veil. Commander Isara of the Valerian Guard, dressed in sleek cerulean armor, stepped forward. Multiple probes sent to investigate. The outer veil went silent 3 days ago. Now the dark matter flows there are disrupted. We suspect a foreign presence, but the source is unidentified. Murmurs broke out among the delegates. Many species considered the outer veil a lawless frontier, and none had reported such anomalies before. Whispers spread like wildfire. Some even spoke of Terran involvement. "Terran?" scoffed Maldron of the E3 Ascendancy, his multi-limbed silhouette looming over the table. "Humanity vanished from galactic records over a century ago. They are a primitive, extinct race. This is preposterous." "Primitive, yes," muttered Elder Yelin, "but not extinct. Not anymore." Suddenly, the chamber's comm system crackled with interference, and the silence was shattered by a garbled transmission. A voice, distorted by static but unmistakably human, spoke in broken common. "Return, soul's ancestral dark, or suffer consequences." The transmission cut out. A shocked silence fell over the room. The delegate stared at the empty holographic feed. "Is this a trick?" asked Chancellor Ralkin, his voice low. "It's not a trick," said Commander Isara grimly. "Our cryptographers have confirmed. The signature matches Terran origins." This voice came from inside the outer veil system. A ripple of unease spread. At the far side of the chamber, a cloaked figure sat quietly. Counselor Kale of the Zellery, archivists. Known for his obsession with lost civilizations, he leaned forward, eyes gleaming with a rare spark. "This changes everything," Kale whispered. "If the Terrans are awakening, their mastery of dark matter could unbalance the galaxy's fragile peace." "Impossible," hissed Maldron. "Their technology was limited to fusion drives and primitive shields. How could they command dark matter weapons?" "Perhaps," Kyle replied. "They never stopped evolving in the shadows." High Chancellor Ralkin banged his fist on the console. "Enough speculation. We must act. Dispatch a reconnaissance. Fleet immediately. We cannot afford ignorance." The chamber's atmosphere grew tense. The ancient alliances that held the council together suddenly seemed fragile, like a spider's web trembling in a storm. Outside, in the cold vacuum of space, dark matter veins pulsed unseen, their energy coursing silently through the void. Somewhere in the outer veil, shadows moved. Human shadows. The camera cut to the bridge of the sleek starship ESS Nocturne, cloaked and hidden within the inky darkness near the outer veil's border. Captain Elias Vaunt stood motionless before the panoramic viewport, his eyes reflecting distant stars. His suit hummed with power. The dark matter reactors woven into his armor whispered ancient secrets. A neural interface glimmered beneath his skin, linking him to the ship's AI, Umbra. "We proceed on schedule," Vance said quietly. "Let the Council know the debt is due." The ship flickered, phasing out of known space, and vanished. Back at the Halo chamber, the Council froze, fear finally settling in. The galaxy had just remembered humanity, and it was no longer waiting. The Diro silence after the transmission had been deafening. The Galaxy Council's carefully balanced discussions dissolved into whispered fears and frantic planning. Varelli's Prime's once vibrant skies now hummed with restless anxiety. Then, the first strike came. At the far edge of Council space, a reconnaissance fleet, composed of vessels from several major species, entered the dark matter veins near the outer veil. Their mission? To confirm the presence of the Terran ships, and if possible, capture one for interrogation. The flagship, SS Lumina, gleamed with polished alloy and was crewed by the finest pilots and scientists the Council could muster. Commander Lyra of the Seraphin Collective stood on its bridge, eyes fixed on the swirling currents of spacetime around the dark matter veins. Her fingers danced over holographic controls. "We're approaching the last known coordinates of the signal," Lyra announced. "All sensors on full scan." The crew's monitors blinked, struggling to penetrate the distortion. The dark matter veins twisted and coiled unpredictably, disrupting standard sensors and communications. Suddenly, the screens flickered. A shape emerged. At first it was a shadow, like a ripple in space itself. Then, as the sensors adjusted, the outline of a vessel materialized, sleek, angular, and impossibly black. It absorbed light rather than reflected it. The craft was unlike anything the Council's archives held. Its surface shimmered with a strange iridescence, dark matter fields rippling beneath an obsidian hull. "Unidentified vessel approaching at sublight speed," the navigator announced, voice tight with disbelief. Lyra's jaw clenched. "All ships, battle stations, prepare for possible engagement." But no weapons fired. Before anyone could react, a wave of distortion spread from the black ship, a pulse of gravitational shear that bent space-time around it. The Lumina's shields glowed briefly, then collapsed as if torn from the inside. "The flagship shuddered violently. Hull breach in Sector 5, shouted the engineering officer. Structural integrity failing. Within seconds, SS Lumina twisted and collapsed in on itself, the stars outside warping like water in a storm. The rest of the fleet tried to respond, firing energy blasts and missiles. But their weapons passed through the dark matter ships, phasing field as if it were a ghost. The black vessel moved like a shadow stalking its prey, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. One by one, Council ships were shredded, not by beams or missiles, but by invisible forces collapsing their hulls from the inside out. Only one ship escaped the carnage. The battered SS Ardent limped away, carrying survivors whose faces were pale, haunted by the terror they had witnessed. When the Ardent finally reached Varelli's Prime, Commander Lyra gave her report to the Council. Her voice was grim. "These ships do not conform to any known technology. They phase through space-time, using what appears to be weaponized dark matter to destroy us without engaging directly. The signatures on the hull, there is no doubt. These are Terran vessels, but their capabilities are beyond anything we imagined." Murmurs of disbelief swept the chamber. "Impossible," Maldron said, shaking his head. "No human technology could have evolved so far, so fast in total secrecy." Counselor Kale stepped forward, his expression grave. "I warned you. Project Umbra was never abandoned. It was a promise. A war weapon developed to control the very fabric of space. The humans sacrificed much to perfect it. Now, those sacrifices have returned." High Chancellor Ralkin pounded his desk. "This is an act of war. We must respond with overwhelming force." Commander Isara shook her head. "We tried. Their weapons bypass our defenses as if we are made of smoke. This is not conventional warfare." Suddenly, the chamber's communication system crackled again. The same distorted human voice echoed, through every speaker, this time clearer. Council of Worlds, you have forgotten the debt owed. Return the entropic accord or face oblivion. The delegates froze. Some gripped their consoles as if for support. Fear had finally broken the thin veneer of their confidence, it seems, Councillor Kale said quietly, that humanity remembers us, far more than we remember them. Outside the chamber, on the fringes of the outer veil, the black ships gathered like predators circling a fading herd. Captain Elias Vant stood once again on the bridge of the ESS Nocturne, staring into the swirling chaos of spacetime. Report, he ordered. Umbra, the ship's AI, responded in its cold, synthesized tone. Council forces are in disarray. Their response is fractured. Their fleets are ineffective. Our presence is noted but not challenged. Vant nodded. Prepare for the next phase. We will remind them that the shadows of Earth still command the dark. The Nocturne's hull rippled, and the ship vanished once more, leaving behind only the trembling stars and the silent warning that humanity's dark matter warships were back. The galaxy watched and waited. But Earth remained silent. For decades, Earth had been little more than a myth, a lost world abandoned to history's cold shelf. Most species believed humanity had been wiped out, or had collapsed into barbarism, after their brief flickering appearance on the galactic stage. Now, as their warships tore through the outer veil like ghosts, that belief shattered. The Council scrambled to open communication channels. Diplomatic envoys, automated relays, even old-fashioned hails were sent. But Earth's system was locked behind a veil of shifting gravitational distortions that scrambled every attempt. Communications impossible, reported Ambassador Jakar of the Morelk Dominion, his forearms nervously adjusting his translator device. It's as if the planet itself refuses contact. Meanwhile, orbital scans revealed something even stranger. The surface of Earth, once a vibrant blue jewel, was now a desolate ruin. Continents scarred by vast craters, cities swallowed by strange phosphorescent fungi that glowed softly beneath an eerie twilight sky. No signs of normal life remained. No radio chatter, no energy signatures typical of sentient civilizations. Deep, scans detected immense structures beneath the ice of the polar caps, vast geometric shapes buried in the frozen wastelands. These were not natural formations, but remnants of a forgotten era. The Council debated sending an expedition, but fear kept many at bay. In secret, a rogue archaeologist named Dr. Kira Solon defied orders. She was a human, though not of the surface, world. Descended from an exiled Terran clan, Kira had grown up hearing whispers of Earth's lost glory and terrible secrets. Her heart burned with curiosity and desperation. Using a stolen scout ship, she slipped through the dark veil and descended into Earth's orbit. The atmosphere was thick with unnatural haze. As her ship entered low orbit, the landscape below looked like a graveyard of a civilization erased. Kira's eyes scanned the sensor readouts. There's something down there, she muttered. Something alive. She piloted her craft toward a polar region where the ancient structures lay buried beneath layers of ice. There, the sensors picked up faint energy emissions, soft pulses like the slow heartbeat of a dying star. Landing near the ruins, Kira donned her exosuit and ventured out. The ruins were massive, colossal geometric towers carved with strange, alien glyphs that hummed with dormant power. As she explored, her suit's scanners detected faint traces of AI cores still active, dormant, but not dead. Suddenly, her comm crackled. Dr. Solon. The voice was low, distorted, but unmistakably human. You shouldn't be here. Kira's breath caught. Who? I am Elias Vant. Her heart pounded, the captain of the Nocturne himself. Earth is no longer the home you remember. It is a crucible and a tomb. We have paid for our power with sacrifice. The transmission cut out. Kira stood alone beneath the frozen sky, the weight of a forgotten war pressing down on her, Back in the council chambers, the revelation spread like wildfire. Humans had not vanished. They had changed, evolved, hidden, and something beneath Earth waited. Counselor Kale's voice broke through the chaos. This is more than a resurgence. It is a reckoning. The heart of the Galaxy Council's domain had never seen a sight like this. Without warning, the sky above Varelli's prime darkened, as if a star had been swallowed whole. Council chambers erupted into chaos as the enormous silhouette of a black warship phased into existence just beyond the atmosphere. It hovered there, immense and impossible, its hull absorbing the light of the three suns. Its surface shimmered with a shifting veil of dark matter, warping the air around it like a living shadow. ESS Nocturne, the flagship of Earth's dark matter fleet. In the grand chamber, every holographic display flickered to life simultaneously, broadcasting a single image across the council, the ship's command bridge. Standing tall and unmoving was Captain Elias Vant, his cybernetic enhancements gleaming beneath the dim glow of the ship's control consoles. His voice, calm yet chillingly authoritative, echoed through the chamber. "Council of Worlds," he began. "You stand accused of breach and betrayal against the Entropic Accord, the pact forged millennia ago to safeguard the galaxy's dark matter veins from exploitation, and war has been broken." His cold eyes scanned the delegates, each aware they were under his unblinking gaze. "For centuries, your kind has mined and weaponized the entropic veins, trampling treaties and dragging the galaxy toward ruin. Humanity retreated to the shadows to preserve the balance, sacrificing everything to contain the void-born threat. And now, you pay the price for your greed." A murmur ran through the crowd. Some gasped. Others exchanged fearful glances. High Chancellor Ralkin's voice cracked, with tension. "Captain Vant, your arrival is unauthorized. What guarantee have we that this is not an act of war?" Vant's lips curled into a grim smile. "War? No. Consider this a reckoning, a reclamation of what is owed." Behind him, the ship's AI, Umbra, projected a swirling map of the galaxy's dark matter veins, highlighting areas of intense extraction and recent conflicts. "This is your debt," Vant said. "Return the stolen veins, cease all weaponization, restore the Accord, or face extinction." Suddenly, alarms blared. A sharp report echoed through the chamber as a council ambassador collapsed, struck by a hidden dart. Panic erupted. "Security. Breach," yelled the chamber marshal. The council's guards scanned the hall, but no attacker was visible. Vant's image flickered again. "We do not negotiate under threat," he intoned. This was a warning. As the hologram cut out, the assembly realized a terrible truth. Humanity's reach extended beyond their warships. Agents lurked everywhere, unseen, prepared to strike at those who defied them. In the observation lounge high above the chamber, Commander Isara watched the transmission on her tablet, jaw tight. "We're dealing with a species that has transcended, not just technology but the very nature of warfare," she muttered. Across the room, Counselor Kale's eyes narrowed. "This is not just a diplomatic gambit. It's a demonstration of power and patience. Elias Vant wants them to fear, to obey, but not yet to destroy." The council had no choice but to convene emergency sessions. Plans for retaliation were drafted, but each was tempered by the knowledge that humanity's warships could dismantle fleets with unseen forces. Outside the chamber, the Nocturne faded into the darkness of space, its presence a looming shadow over the galaxy, and humanity's message was clear. The era of waiting was over. The Entropic Edge was a remote system on the fringe of council space, a vital choke point where dark matter veins converged like a cosmic artery. Controlling it meant controlling the flow of power throughout half the galaxy. Naturally, the Council had fortified it as a first line of defense against any threat, but no fortress could stand against a shadow. Commander Isara stood on the bridge of the flagship SS Vanguard, gripping the console as the fleet moved into position. Ships of every race gathered, sleek Valerian cruisers, heavy E3 dreadnoughts, and swift Zilari interceptors. This was their chance to strike back, to wrest control from the Terran invaders and send a message that the Council would not be intimidated. Deploy fleet formations Alpha through Delta, Isara commanded, voice steady despite the tension. We hold the edge or we perish. The battle began like a symphony of destruction. Council ships surged forward, firing volleys of plasma and ion blasts into the shadowed void. But the Black Terran warships did not respond in kind. Instead, they seemed to dissolve into the darkness, slipping through space like wraiths. Then the real horror began. Suddenly, entire Council ships convulsed as if caught in a crushing grip. Hulls buckled, weapon systems failed, and crew members screamed in terror as gravity inside their vessels warped uncontrollably. The dark matter weapons didn't blast outward. They attacked from within, collapsing starships in moments. The SS Vanguard shook violently. Brace for structural failure, yelled Isara as alarms blared. Her own ship's hull warped, the starboard engines flickering dangerously. We're losing ships faster than expected, her tactical officer shouted. The enemy is phasing inside our formations. Isara grit her teeth. Form defensive perimeters, deploy countergrav disruptors. But every tactic failed against the Terran fleet's singular unity. Observers reported seeing the Terran pilots move as one, a neural link connecting them in a hive mind of terrifying efficiency. Their bodies were not merely flesh and blood, but living conduits of dark matter energy. Enhanced with neural implants and quantum reactors, they fought as an unbreakable wave, precise and merciless. The Council fleet's losses mounted. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, the remnants retreated, leaving behind scorched debris drifting like ghosts through the void. Back at the Council chambers, the survivors' report sparked a mixture of fear and awe. Councillor Kale addressed the assembly, voice heavy with unease. These pilots are no longer human in any conventional sense. They have transcended mortality and individuality. Their neural link creates a collective consciousness, an evolved war form. Are we facing soldiers or gods? Whispered an elder delegate. High Chancellor Ralkin slammed his fist on the table. Enough. We will not bow to phantoms. We must prepare for war on their terms. Elias Vant's voice came through the comm channels, calm and unyielding. We seek no conquest, he declared. We seek balance. The debts must be repaid. The entropic veins restored to their rightful guardians. His message was clear. This was not merely a fight for territory, but a reckoning whose toll would shape the fate of every star system. Outside the chamber, the black ships of Earth moved silently, like shadows weaving a web around the galaxy. The war had only just begun. The Galaxy Council's chambers were a storm of whispered accusations and strained alliances. The once unified front had begun to fracture under the pressure of humanity's return and its terrifying display of power. High Chancellor Ralkin struggled to maintain order as delegates bickered over what to do next. Some called for total war, others for cautious diplomacy, but fear had already planted seeds of mistrust. In the shadows, a darker threat stirred. Within the Council's own ranks, rumors spread of spies and saboteurs, agents of the Terrans who had slipped through, the cracks hiding in plain sight. A wave of paranoia gripped the delegates. Every shadow became suspect, every word a possible betrayal. Commander Isara, returning from the siege of the Entropic Edge battered but unbroken, was summoned to a secret meeting with the Council's intelligence head, Director Vex. We have confirmed infiltration, Vex said grimly. Several high-ranking officials have been compromised. The Terrans are playing a deeper game, sowing discord to weaken us from within. Isara's eyes narrowed. We're fighting on two fronts. How do we root out ghosts we can't see? Vex tapped a holographic display. Our best asset may be someone few expect, Dr. Kira Solon. Isara's breath caught. The rogue archaeologist's unauthorized mission to Earth had uncovered secrets no one else dared approach. Solon has insight into Terran tech and tactics, Vex continued. She's our key to understanding their neural link, the hive mind Captain Vance pilots. Hughes. Isara nodded, resolve hardening. Get her here, we need every advantage. Meanwhile, deep beneath the icy surface of Earth, Kira Solon explored further into the ancient ruins. The towering structures pulsed faintly with life, and as she ventured into the heart of a subterranean temple, she found something astonishing: a massive neural interface, an ancient machine designed to link minds across vast distances. Her suit's scanner hummed. This technology predates even the earliest known Terran civilization records. It's the root of the hive mind. Suddenly, a cold voice echoed in her helmet comms. "You tread on sacred ground, Dr. Solon." She spun around to see a figure emerging from the shadows, Captain Elias Vant himself. "Why are you here?" she demanded. Vant's eyes were unreadable. "Because Earth remembers its debt. Because you cannot hide from your past." He gestured toward the neural interface. "This is the source of our power and our curse. The bond that transformed humanity into something greater and something feared." Kira's mind raced. "You've weaponized it, turned people into soldiers bound by the same consciousness." Vant nodded slowly. "We sought unity to survive the Voidborn, but it changed us. Now, we must enforce balance, no matter the cost." Back, in Council space, tensions rose as news of infiltration and the Terran neural network leaked. Councillor Maldrin, once dismissive of humanity, now demanded swift action. "We cannot negotiate with ghosts," he declared. "We must purge the Council of all traitors and mobilize the full fleet. Humanity is a cancer that must be excised." Councillor Kale, ever the voice of reason, cautioned restraint. "We are not just facing a military threat, but a philosophical one. If we annihilate humanity, we risk destroying what could become a new path for the galaxy, or dooming ourselves to endless war." The chamber was divided. As Isara and Kira prepared to share what they had learned about the neural interface, a silent message arrived from the Nocturne, a warning encrypted within the dark matter currents. "Balance demands sacrifice." The war for the galaxy's soul was far from over. The Council's war rooms were a frenzy of activity. Every sensor and intelligence node was trained on the next Terran move. But the battlefield had shifted. It was no longer just ships and weapons. It was minds. Commander Isara stood before the holographic table, flanked by Dr. Kira Solon and Director Vex. The glowing projection detailed the neural interface discovered beneath Earth's ice, a vast ancient lattice of quantum processors, synaptic conduits, and dark matter cores. "This," Kira explained, "is the heart of the Terran hive mind. Each pilot connects here, sharing thoughts, reflexes, even emotions. It's why they move as one, anticipating each other's actions instantly." Isara frowned. "A collective consciousness that coordinates across light years. How do we fight something like that?" Vex's expression was grim. "We don't. Not directly. We disrupt. Sever their neural link." "But how?" Isara demanded. "We have a prototype," Vex said, pulling up schematics of a specialized EMP device tuned to interfere with dark matter resonance frequencies, the only known way to destabilize the neural connection without destroying the ships themselves. Kira's voice was urgent. "We need to deploy it quickly. If the Terrans maintain their link, they can outmaneuver any fleet. But if we break it, even for moments, their advantage crumbles." The plan was risky. The EMP would require close-range deployment, putting the attacking fleet within striking distance of the Terran warships. Still, it was the best hope. Within hours, the Council fleet had rallied to the entropic edge once more, this time with the EMP-equipped SS Vanguard leading the charge. As the fleets clashed again, the battle roared like a cosmic storm. Dark matter warships slipped through space, delivering devastating internal attacks, while Council vessels countered with concentrated plasma bursts. Sara gave the order. "Deploy EMP drones. Target the neural arrays." Swarm drones launched, humming with quantum pulses designed to ripple through the Terran ship's dark matter fields. For a heartbeat, the battle seemed to shift. The black warships flickered, losing cohesion, their attacks becoming erratic. But the hive mind fought back fiercely. Suddenly, the neural network pulsed with a blinding surge. The Terran pilots cried out, not in voice but in shared thought, rising, like a tidal wave of rage and desperation. On the Council ship, systems went haywire. Pilots experienced strange hallucinations, their minds invaded by alien whispers, visions of Earth's lost war, the sacrifice, and the cold determination of humanity's commanders. Izara gritted her teeth. It's a psychic counterattack. They're trying to overwhelm our minds. The battle grew chaotic. Council ships faltered under the mental assault, some turning on allies, others lost to panic. Kira's suit HUD flickered as she relayed data from Earth. Captain Vant warned us, this war is fought not just with weapons, but with minds. The neural siege is the deadliest weapon. Amid the chaos, Isara made a desperate decision. We can't just survive, we have to strike at the source. She coordinated with Vex to send a covert strike team, pilots equipped with the experimental EMP device, on a direct assault toward the neural interface buried beneath Earth's ice. The SS Nocturne loomed nearby, its dark hull shimmering ominously. Captain Elias Vant awaited, his expression unreadable as he prepared to defend the very heart of humanity's transformation. The strike team raced through the shattered battlefield, evading dark matter tendrils and collapsing space anomalies. Their mission was simple yet impossible. Breach the ancient temple, disable the neural interface, and sever the hive mind. As the team descended into the frozen depths, Kira's voice crackled in their comms. You're not just fighting the Terran pilots, you're fighting a legacy of sacrifice, pain, and survival. Remember that. At the core chamber, the neural interface pulsed with overwhelming energy. The strike team deployed the EMP device. Shudder rippled through the hive mind. Captain Vant's voice echoed both in the ship's comms and their minds. You cannot break what is bound by sacrifice. But as the device activated, the neural network faltered. The dark matter fields flickered and the Terran ships lost their coordinated edge. Back in the Council fleet, the tide turned. Commander Isara watched as the black ships, once invincible, staggered under the sudden chaos. The neural siege was broken, for now. But as the battle raged on, all knew the war was far from over. The shadows of Earth were deep and their secrets darker still. The frozen core beneath Earth trembled, its ancient neural interface shattered by the Council's strike team. The hive mind that had bound the Terran pilots fractured, splintering their unity like shards of glass. Captain Elias Vant stood on the bridge of the Nocturne, eyes shadowed by fatigue and something deeper, regret. The collective consciousness that had once made humanity unstoppable was now unraveling. The price of power had been immense. Is this what you wanted, Kira? Vant's voice came through her suit comms, rough yet resolute. A war fought, to destroy what made us whole. Kira's breath was steady, but her heart pounded. I wanted peace. Balance. Not endless war. Around them, the Council fleet pressed the advantage. Without their neural link, Terran pilots were disoriented. Their attacks faltering, Commander Isara's voice cut through the tension. All ships converge, this is our moment. In the final hours of the battle, the galaxy held its breath. As the Council forces closed in, Vant gave a command that shocked all. Cease fire. The Nocturne's dark hull pulsed softly, and a beacon of light stretched outward, an offer, a plea. We surrender, not to conquer, but to rebuild, to share what we've learned, and to end this cycle of bloodshed. Across the Council chambers, silence fell. High Chancellor Ralkin stared at the message, his fingers tightening into fists. This changes everything. The war had tested every conviction, shattered old alliances, and revealed buried truths. Humanity's return was no longer a threat, but a challenge to the galaxy's very understanding of life, unity, and sacrifice. Kira Solon stood beside Vant as the Council's envoy arrived on Earth's surface. The ruins glowed faintly beneath, twilight skies. The scars of war, yes, but also the promise of rebirth. We cannot undo what has been, Kira said softly, but we can choose what comes next. Vant nodded. The neural link was born from desperation. Now, with trust, it can become a bridge instead of a weapon. The galaxy's leaders debated long into the night. They crafted new accords, agreements that recognized humanity's unique evolution and pledged cooperation rather than conflict. Commander Isara reflected quietly in the observation deck, watching the stars twinkle through reinforced glass. The Mayor. Galaxy isn't just a map of planets and fleets, she murmured. It's a tapestry of lives, sacrifices, and choices. We faced a shadow and found not just fear, but hope. The Nocturne prepared to depart. Its crew changed forever, but no longer alone. As the ship slipped back into the void, Kira whispered to the stars, "This is only the beginning." For in the heart of darkness, the light of humanity burned brighter than ever.